Our lead story tonight takes us to a suburban backyard, where a local hero has officially declared full sovereignty from the county. It all began at 8 a.m. this morning when 34-year-old Mark Jennings pulled the starter cord on his lawn mower. The mower choked, sputtered, and refused to start. Did Mark give up? Did he check the spark plug? Absolutely not. Mark pulled that cord 47 consecutive times. Witnesses say that on the 48th pull, the engine roared to life. Mark reportedly held his chin high, pointed at the freshly cut grass, and declared his back patio an independent principality named Jennings Land. According to local reports, the newly formed kingdom currently has a standing military consisting of one guy holding a weed whacker, and an economy based entirely on half-empty cans of sparkling water found in the garage. Neighbors have tried to negotiate trade agreements regarding the property line, but King Mark has issued a royal decree stating that anyone stepping on his lawn without an invitation will be subjected to 3 hours of him explaining his favorite grill recipes. Constitutional experts have confirmed that while Mark does not technically own a sovereign nation, his lawn stripes look remarkably clean today, so everyone is pretty much just letting him have this one. Turning now to international affairs, a delicate diplomatic crisis has erupted between Lithuania and Switzerland, threatening the peaceful distribution of dairy products across Europe. The disagreement centers on the structural integrity and hold-to-cheese ratio of Swiss versus Lithuanian traditional cheeses. Swiss diplomats lodged an official complaint with the International Dairy Coalition yesterday, claiming that Lithuania's famous Svalia cheese contained air pockets that were unauthorized, irregularly shaped, and structurally unsound. In response, Lithuanian representatives held a press conference outside the embassy, holding up a giant will of Emmental and accusing Switzerland of, quote, monopolizing void space in dairy products. The conflict has escalated to the highest levels of global government. Emergency talks were held in Geneva earlier today, where delegates spent 4 straight hours using high-precision lasers to measure the exact volume of air inside 30 different cheese wheels. Sources close to the negotiation table report that tempers flared when a Swiss ambassador refused to share a cheese knife, prompting the Lithuanian delegation to threaten a total embargo on all imported fondue pots. Trade analysts warn that if a compromise isn't reached by midnight, the global market could suffer a severe shortage of melted cheese, leaving millions of pasta dishes and party platters in peril. The United Nations has called for calm, urging both nations to remember that at the end of the day, it's all just dairy. We will bring you updates on this high-stakes diplomatic standoff as news develops. Pandemonium in the scientific community today as a minor laboratory miscalculation has resulted in thousands of common forest toads developing the ability to fly. It happened at the Institute for Advanced Amphibian Studies. Researchers were attempting to develop a lightweight jump pad for frogs, but an accidental spill of pressurized helium and localized anti-gravity gel created an entirely new species, the sky toad. Within minutes, hundreds of toads floated out of the lab's open windows and took to the afternoon sky. City residents were stunned as thousands of warty amphibians began gliding through the air at roof level. Eyewitnesses report seeing toads sitting calmly on tree branches 40 feet up, catching flies mid-air with incredible grace. Traffic came to a complete standstill down Main Street as drivers stopped their cars just to watch a flock of 50 toads drift peacefully past the traffic lights. City officials have issued a safety advisory asking citizens not to panic if a toad gently alights on their shoulder during their evening walk. While the toads pose no physical threat, local authorities admit they have no idea how to get them back down. We're going to take a very quick break, but stay with us when we return. We'll tell you how local citizens are coping with the Amphibian Air Force. But first, this broadcast is brought to you by AutoSunat. Never trip over untied laces again. Just step and go. Welcome back to the Guy News. We return to our ongoing coverage of the Great Flying Toad incident. Scientists at the institute assure the public that the anti-gravity effect is strictly temporary and should wear off within 24 hours. Until then, community members are making the absolute best of the situation. A local park ranger was spotted using a butterfly net attached to a broom handle to safely guide floating toads out of power lines, while neighborhood kids have organized an impromptu toad watching club in the town square. The mayor held a brief press conference an hour ago, wearing a bicycle helmet as a precaution, and reminded everyone to keep their patio umbrellas open. Scientists expect the entire toad population to softly land back in the grass by sunrise tomorrow. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies, and maybe put on a wide-brimmed hat if you're heading outside. We interrupt this broadcast for a critical public safety alert regarding standard sidewalk etiquette. At approximately 2:15 p.m. today, local guy Dave Miller held the door open at a coffee shop for a stranger who was currently 55 meters away. The individual, realizing the door was being held, was immediately forced into that awkward, half-speed fast walk shuffle where you pretend to hurry while making aggressive eye contact and saying thank you 3 separate times before actually reaching the frame. Authorities are reminding all citizens that the maximum allowable door holding distance is 15 meters. Holding the door for anyone beyond that threshold creates unnecessary cardio and intense social pressure for everyone involved. Please, hold doors responsibly. Finally tonight, we turn our cameras to our annual family update, the Huleston Huggles. Every year, our network selects one extraordinary household to follow daily, and this year's honor goes to the Huleston Huggles. The household is headed by parents Hugh and Hugh, two stoic penguins who communicate almost exclusively in synchronized head nods. Their eldest son, Hughull, is a pig who sports a golden crown, a royal red cloak, and grey trousers. The middle child, Huggles, is a monarch frog wearing a purple robe and his own crown of kingship, while the youngest sister, Huleston, is an unbothered turtle who never removes her razor-sharp designer sunglasses. Together, they manage a single suburban household, and we will be following their daily triumphs and rivalries all year long. Tensions reached an all-time high in the Huggles household this afternoon over a territorial dispute in the backyard garden pond. It started when Hughull the pig decided to claim the high ground, specifically, the top of the garden birdbath, declaring it the outer ramparts of his royal hog kingdom. Dressed in his signature red cloak, Hughull began issuing demands for a daily tribute of sliced apples. However, his younger brother Huggles, the Frog King, took immediate offense. Claiming full divine right over all damp and muddy regions of the yard, Huggles wrapped his purple robe around himself, leaped onto a floating lily pad, and issued an official counter-decree outlawing pigs within 5 feet of the water's edge. Meanwhile, parents Hugh and Hugh, the two penguins, completely ignored the royal conflict. Witnesses report both Hughs spent the entire afternoon standing side by side near the garden hose, staring blankly at a shiny pebble and occasionally waddling in a small circle. The standoff was finally broken by younger sister Huleston. Adjusting her sharp sunglasses, the turtle slowly marched into the center of the lawn, sat directly on the garden hose, and cut off the water supply to the lily pad entirely. Neither the pig nor the frog dared to challenge her authority. As night falls, peace has been restored. Hughull has retreated to the patio, Huggles is brooding under a hosta leaf, Huleston is sunbathing under the porch light, and both penguin parents are fast asleep next to their beloved pebble. We will keep you posted on the Huggles family as the year progresses.